Welcome to Law Talk Today, a series devoted to bringing you informative and educational programs focused on issues of law, government, and community.
Good evening and welcome to Law Talk Today. My name is Mark Gruber. I'm your host. This show airs every Wednesday night between 7:30 and 8. And on the show we talk about legal topics. We interview people in the know. We could have people ranging from judges to law students to police officers demonstrating the breathalyzer machines. The topics in the law are never ending, and we hope that you join us each week. I think you'll find it very informative and educational. On tonight's show, we're going to be talking about domestic violence, and we have with us representatives from JBWS, Jersey Battered Women's Service. And so I want to welcome Jeannie Bram and Jane Shivas. Welcome to the show.
It's nice to be here.
Domestic violence, as we all know, is all around us. Mm-hmm. And let's start off with what the definition of domestic violence is. Who wants to take the lead on that?
Sure, I can talk about that. Domestic violence is an issue of power and control in a relationship. So in other words, when one person is controlling another person, and they can use tactics of physical abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse, intimidation, or threats of any of those.
And Jeannie, there's a very powerful law out there called the Prevention of Domestic Violence Act, right? I guess I'm somewhat qualified to define that myself because as an attorney, I deal with that act and I represent not only victims but also the defendants. And the act defines domestic violence as the one of maybe 10 or 11 or 12 criminal acts such as harassment, assault, stalking, terroristic threats, imprisonment, attempted murder, right? And those are the major ones. Harassment probably being the harassment, assault, and terroristic threats probably the top three.
Yes.
Am I right on that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's a criminal law, and so to qualify as a victim of domestic violence, the perpetrator has to commit one of those acts, those criminal acts, but it's a civil proceeding.
Yes.
All right, so it can be a criminal proceeding if charges are lodged also, but the act is civil, and you go to court, and there is a civil trial, and the burden of proof is not criminal like beyond a reasonable doubt. It's by preponderance of the evidence. That's pretty much how the act goes. And the way a case starts in domestic violence is somebody calls the police, or they go down to the courthouse. If the courthouse is open, you can go there, speak to the domestic violence unit, and they will have you file a complaint, and you go before a judge who will issue a temporary restraining order. If the courts are closed, you call the local police, and they get a hold of the municipal judge at any time of the day or night if the courts are closed, and the judge will frequently speak to the victim on the phone and then issue a temporary restraining order. And then within 10 days, you come back and you have a hearing. I could talk probably hours about that procedure, but that's not why we're here.
Mark,
tonight.
I also think it's important for your listeners to know who's eligible for the Prevention of Domestic Violence Act.
Great idea. Jane, why don't you define them?
It's for persons who are 18 years of age or older, people who have either been married, are married, have dated in the past, are emancipated minors, or have been or are currently household members.
Or have a child together, right?
Or have a child together, yes.
Okay, and those are the victims of domestic violence.
Yes.
Your organization, let's start generally defining what your mission is.
Our mission is the prevention of domestic violence. And through that mission, we are helping to assist victims of domestic violence and every member of their family. So we do have services for the victim. We have services for those who are using abuse and force in the relationship. We also have services for children who may be witnessing the abuse in the family. And then beyond that, we've grown to extend our services to reach out to youth and teens and talk to them about preventing domestic violence.
And I hope to have enough time on tonight's show to go into those in some detail, but if we run out of time, and it always seems we're running out of time, I'm going to invite you back to go into it in some more detail because they're very good programs. Let's start with how large an organization are you, and where are you located?
We keep the location of our facilities confidential for safety reasons.
Understood.
People can access us through our 24-hour helpline, which I believe will be put on the screen.
Well, let's put that up now, and
Okay.
And Jane, why don't you tell us what it is? How do people reach you?
They can call us on our helpline at 973-267-4763.
And you have a website?
And we also have a
email.
website, yes.
Let's get that. Let's put that up there too, because
Yes.
these are important.
www.jbws.org. And if someone would like to send us email, it would be info @jbws.org. So
Okay.
there are many ways that people can access us and get information about our services. And even if someone's interested just in confidentially finding out some information, the website is a great place to get information about our services, but also an understanding of domestic violence.
How large an organization are you, and how are you funded?
We get our funding from many sources. We get some government funding, federal, state, and county funding. We also have some United Way funds. We get a lot of our funds through grants, through foundations, and seeking a range of grants, either government or private foundations. And we also have fundraisers. We have 2 large fundraisers every year, which is our Grand Tastings coming up in May 18th.
How did I miss that one? I'm off your mailing list.
Well,
I
we'll
gotta go.
have to get you on our mailing list, Mark.
That's a great event because I've
Yeah,
been
it
there in
is.
the past.
And we
Wonderful.
also have a golf outing, golf and tennis outing, which is going to be held. The golf will be July 13th, and the tennis is the 17th of July.
And so if anybody...
And that information is also on our website.
It's on your website, yeah.
Yes.
And I would imagine that you would accept any private contributions
Absolutely.
or donations.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And so if anybody out there wants to donate and contribute to your cause, the information is on the TV screen for them to call
Right.
in.
Yes.
Right? Wonderful.
And on our website, there's a button for Donate Now.
Now, how many people in your organization? How many
We-
people do you employ, or volunteers?
We have about 30 full-time staff, and probably close to 40 to 50 part-time staff who work on the weekends or evenings or substitute, because we have 2 residential programs which we staff 24 hours a day.
And one of our other key programs is our volunteer program. I mean, we really wouldn't be able to provide the kinds of services that we do without the assistance of our volunteers. So we have about 125 volunteers who help us in various aspects of the program.
Do you want to plug your volunteer program, and if there's certain areas that you're looking for volunteers, you can say it now, and maybe they can call in.
Yeah, we're always in need of volunteers who answer our 24-hour helpline, and so for children's program, for that particular need, volunteers go through a 40-hour training, which meets the confidentiality statute that we need to fulfill for the state. And they go through a 40-hour training, and then after that, they volunteer for 4-hour shifts a week. If there are people who want to make a contribution to JBWS and volunteer their time, but they don't have that amount of time to contribute, we have other alternative volunteer activities that they can be involved in, and with a lesser amount of training.
Now I have to put a plug in for the men out there. I know that you have some male volunteers, and I know this because my brother is a volunteer at the shelter, and I think he watches the children when the women go to some of the, I guess, services and seminars and things that you have for
Yeah,
them.
we have a number of male volunteers, and
Yeah.
primarily in either the children's program. We also have male volunteers who help us with maintenance, transportation. So there's some key areas that